My name is Andrew Maggs and I'm making this video for my friend Matthew Dons in response to his immunotherapy challenge. A whole bunch of his friends have already made videos, people like Brian Lockwood, Ed Paxton, David Cross and Emily Paxton, and so this is just me talking to you a little bit about how I know Matthew and a few of my memories of time spent with him growing up. So I suppose the first thing is how do I know Matthew? Well, I can't really remember not knowing Matthew. We met, I think, because his mother wanted to go back to work and my mother was able to help out a little bit with childcare arrangements for Matthew and for his sister Carla when Matthew was probably about 3, so was I. So 2 days a week Matthew would come round to ours and we would probably spend most of the time in that garden, digging holes, digging tunnels, climbing trees. We had quite a nice conker tree that we were always climbing, probably from, as soon as we could, certainly well into our teens. That was great fun, and obviously because we lived around the corner from each other, we ended up going to school together as well, first at Home Park with Ed as well, Ed Paxton, and then at Avenue Middle School where we were joined by a whole bunch of other people who became friends, particularly probably Finn Skipper as well. And then obviously we all went off to the Hewitt School where we were joined by people like David Cross, who's obviously also already made a video. I think, it's difficult to remember much about being kind of 5 or 6, but certainly by the time we were all at Hewitt together, much like Ed and Matthew, James, my younger brother, and I had also joined the 11th Norwich Sea Scouts, and I have lots of very fond memories of time spent there with Matthew. I know that we used to spend quite a lot of time going on night hikes together. They used to be organised by the Scouts originally, so we would trot off around various parts of Norfolk, trying to find various waypoints at which there would be activities, and I know Matthew was a particularly proud owner of a 6-cell Maglite which must have weighed about 3 or 4 kilos, and which we wouldn't use very much because it would ruin our night vision, but which we could occasionally use to light up an entire field to work out where on earth we were supposed to be going. Because we were a Sea Scout group, we did quite a lot of kayaking, a little bit of sailing, some rowing, and then we also did various other bits and pieces. I think one of my key memories of the time is going parascending with Matthew at an old disused military airfield somewhere in Norfolk, basically being pulled along by an old army jeep along this old army airstrip, and I think we had 3 goes each or so, and on the last go we released the rope, and suddenly I remember at that point that all of a sudden I realised there was a massive barbed wire fence just off to my right, which meant I very definitely wanted to lean to the left. I think this was probably around Christmas time because it was bitterly cold. I remember we were all wearing as much army gear as possible, heavy black army boots, combat trousers. We had all kinds of webbing and stuff, and we thought it was the epitome of cool. So that's how life is when you're 13, 14, isn't it? And then other memories, so I think Matthew's already talked quite a lot about the Amiga and how much of an amazing computer it was, and I agree with him completely. You know, it really was astonishing at our age in the 80s. We must have got them in the 80s or 1990 to have a computer like that was just so fun. Apart from anything else, you know, we really did spend an awful lot of time in front of old CRT TVs plugged into our Amigas to play a whole raft of games and do other things with them. I know Matthew's talked about programming, and my brother James's involvement in that, and my dad, who used to be able to help out a bit. The other thing that Matthew and I got up to with our Amigas was we got hold of a copy of a floppy disk called the Jolly Roger Cookbook, and we spent an awful lot of time in Matthew's kitchen cooking up smoke bombs and setting them off in his backyard. God knows how we got away with this, because smoke bombs, while you're making them, smell absolutely awful, a very distinctive smell, and we would just use kitchen pots and pans to do this. And of course, if you get the ratios of ingredients slightly wrong, instead of a smoke bomb you end up with a flare. Quite a few times I think we almost set fire to a shed at the back of the garden, which probably wouldn't have been great, but I think we managed to avoid that, fortunately. I think probably because the smoke bombs we made were actually quite small. We generally used kind of 35mm film canisters. They were 3.5 centimetres high and 1 inch across or so. So we were okay, but I think we had a few close calls. Yeah, I have lots of lovely memories growing up with Matthew and with all our other friends. So I suppose why am I telling you this? Well, it's Matthew's birthday tomorrow. He's going to be 37. Christ. And that's obviously fantastic. But he has stage 4 bowel cancer. Life expectancy is around kind of 6 months on average, and he is desperately trying to receive new treatments to help him. These are scientifically proven treatments. He's trying to get some immunotherapy, but because immunotherapy is such a new treatment, it's generally not available on publicly funded healthcare or through health insurance, and so Matthew is trying to raise money to allow him to have this treatment so that he can spend more time with his wife Chikako and also with his 2 children, Edward, who's 7, and Jessica, who is 2. And in the hope that the immunotherapy will extend his life expectancy long enough for other treatments to be developed and to help him to live longer and spend more time with his family. What I'd really like people to do, if you know Matthew, or even if you don't, is just go to his website, matthewdons.org. That's mathewdons.org. The website should be in the header of this video if you're watching it on YouTube. And just give anything you can. He's got quite a high amount that he needs to raise. He needs to raise £95,000. He's been fundraising for 2 months and has raised £30,000, which is fantastic. But he just needs to continue raising money, and so going and giving anything you can will really help him. I agreed about a month ago that I would shave my head if I could raise enough funding for it, and I haven't raised the amount that I hoped to have raised, but I think I've raised enough So I'm going to try and post at the end of this video a photo of me later on today once I've gone and had all my hair cut off. You know, if you know me and you think this is a funny outcome, then please show your support and donate to Matthew. As I said, for the website's matthewdons.org. Matthew, happy birthday. I hope this video helps. You know, I really hope the treatment works. I look forward to seeing you at some point. Okay, cheers.